Hello dear students. Today we are discussing the skeletal system. In previous class we have discussed regarding muscles and their functioning. In this class today we are discussing skeletal system. So all of you know human skeleton. Human skeleton is made up of totally 206 bones. Human skeleton is made up of totally 206 bones. Here we are dividing this human skeleton. We are dividing this human skeleton as a axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. Axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. Axial skeleton is comprised of skull, ribs, vertebral column and sternum. Axial skeleton that is axis of the human skeleton. Axis of the human skeleton made up of skull and vertebral column. You can just imagine skull and continuous with vertebral column on back side and front side. The sternum is present and rib cage is present. So axial skeleton, skull, vertebral column dorsally and sternum ventrally and ribs are present laterally. So this is comprising of, or this forms the axial skeleton. Axial skeleton is made up of totally 80 bones. How many bones are there? Totally 80 bones are there in axial skeleton. So out of 206 bones in human skeleton minus 80, how many are remaining? 126. They are comprising of appendicular skeleton. They are comprising appendicular skeleton. Now we shall see one by one all these bones and all these axial skeleton in detail. Now let us study one by one. First, the skull, human skull. Human skull is made up of totally 22 bones. Totally 22 bones are there in a human skeleton. Now the skull is called as cranium, which is also called as brain box, inside which the brain is protected. Brain is protected inside the brain box or the cranium. So skull is made up of cranium and the facial bones. Skull is made up of the cranium and facial bones. Now in cranium, how many bones are there? Totally 8 bones are there. In cranium, 8 bones are there. Which are they? They are the cranial bones, that is parietal, ethmoid, sphenoid, then temporal, occipital and frontal. So which are the bones? So you can see in the diagram, that is parietal, temporal, occipital, then frontal, sphenoid, ethmoid. Sphenoid and ethmoid. So these are the bones of cranium. Cranial bones. They are the cranial bones. So we have to remember one thing here, that is parietal and temporal bones. Parietal and temporal bones are 2 in number. Temporal and parietal bones are 2 in number, whereas all other bones are single. All other bones are single. So 2 temporal and parietal, that means 4 bones are there. Then 5 occipital, fifth bone, then frontal sixth, sphenoid 7, ethmoid 8. So totally how many bones are there? 8 bones are there in cranium. So here one thing we have to remember, cranial bones are not showing any kind of movement. Movement is totally absent in the cranial bones. So here in cranium, the fibrous cartilage, fibrous joint is present. Fibrous joint is present, because of which there is no movement. Totally there is no movement. So, and these bones are tightly packed. They are tightly joined with each other. All these bones are tightly joined with each other. Then next we are moving with the facial bones. In facial bones, how many facial bones are there? So just now I told you that is cranium. How many bones are there? In cranium, 8 are there. Cranium, 8 bones are there. Then facial, how many bones are there? 14 bones are there. So totally in skull, how many bones are there? 22 bones. So 4 plus 8 become, that is 14 plus 8 becomes 22. Now let us see the facial bones. Facial bones, they are forming the face. In face region they are present. They are totally 14 in number. So which are they? Maxilla, palatine, nasal, zygomatic, concave, then mandible, lacrimal, concave, then lacrimal, mandible and vomal. So these are the bones of face or facial bones. Now 14 number we have to remember. So here some bones are paired, and except mandible, that is mandible and vomal, which are only one in number. Mandible and vomal, one in number, whereas all others are 2 in number. That is, they are paired. All others are paired. I will repeat once again. Which are the paired bones of face? That is facial bones. Maxilla, palatine, nasal, zygomatic, concave, lacrimal. So all these are paired. All these are paired. Then single bone, mandible and vomal. Mandible and vomal. So try to remember the paired and unpaired bones of the face. So maybe asked in examination. Okay. So next. So these are the total 14 bones. Here they are visible. Here they are visible. So this is lacrimal bone, nasal bone, zygomatic, maxilla, mandible. Okay. Maxilla, mandible. So these are the bones of face. Bones of face. Then next here in the neck region, just below the mandible, that is just below the mandible, in the neck region, one U-shaped bone is present, which is called as a hyoid bone. Which is called as a hyoid bone. So this is single in number. Single in number. Hyoid bone is present. And then next in skull region only, that is 3 ear ossicles are present in the ear. Ear ossicles are present in ear. Ear ossicles are present in ear region. That is middle ear. From middle ear they start. That is 3 are there. Malleus, M-I-S. So malleus, incus, stapes. So from the mid ear, malleus, incus, stapes. So innermost will be stapes. Innermost will be stapes. Stapes is smallest bone. Remember, stapes is smallest bone. So just now we have calculated that totally 22 bones are there in skull region. That is 8 cranial bones, 14 facial bones and Then one more bone just now I told you, that is hyoid bone, U-shaped hyoid bone present in neck region. Then next the three bones, these three bones present in ear, middle ear region, that is they are also called as ear ossicles. They are also called as ear ossicles. So three in each ear, three in each ear. So how many? So 3 into 2, that is 6. That is 6. And one hyoid bone. One hyoid bone. So how many are there now? Totally in skull region, 22 plus 6 plus 1. That means 22 plus 7. Totally 29 bones will be there. Totally 29 bones will be there. So if we consider the ear ossicles and hyoid bone, otherwise 22. Skull bones are 22 in number. If we consider the ear ossicles and hyoid bone, it will be 29. Try to remember this. Next, the sternum, another bone in the axial skeleton, another bone in axial skeleton, that is sternum. So sternum is the flat bone. Sternum is a flat bone. It is also called as breastbone. It is also called as breastbone. So this is flat bone present anteriorly. Present anteriorly. Then it is also single in number. Only one sternum is present. Then next the vertebral column. Next the vertebral column. So vertebral column, totally how many bones are there? Totally there are 26 bones. Totally there are 26 bones. So here the vertebral column is present dorsally. Sternum is present ventrally. Vertebral column is present dorsally. So vertebral column that is totally 7 cervical bones are there. 7 cervical bones are there, and cervical vertebrae. Cervical vertebrae are there. C7. Cervical vertebrae. T thoracic. T12. Then lumbar. 5. Then sacral 1, then coccyx 1. So like this we are denoting or we are classifying. So first 7, 1 to 7. First 1 to 7 the vertebrae are the cervical bone. Okay, cervical bones 1 to 7. Then next 12 thoracic bones are there. 12 thoracic bones are there. Then lumbar region, that is waist region, 5 bones are there. Lumbar 5 bones are there. Then sacral and coccyx. Sacral is the bone which is single in number, but it is fused with 5 bones. Fused with 5 bones. So sacral 1 in number but fused by 5 bones. Then coccyx again 1 in number but it is formed by fusion of 4 bones. It is formed by fusion of 4 bones. So this is regarding the vertebral column, and this cervical vertebrae, so they are same in almost all vertebrates. Almost all vertebrates, so they are the same. So here we can see these are the cervical vertebrae, and these are the thoracic vertebrae, and these are lumbar vertebrae, and here sacrum, coccyx. Sacrum, coccyx. Sacrum is formed by fusion of 5 bones, and coccyx is formed by fusion of 4 bones. So these are the sacrum and the coccyx. Then one more thing regarding the vertebral column, that is neural canal is present. The vertebral column is hollow. Vertebral column is hollow, and it is providing the space for the spinal cord. Space for the spinal cord. So, vertebral canal is present. Vertebral canal is present. That is why it is hollow. And this vertebral canal is provided with, or in this vertebral canal, the spinal cord is running. Spinal cord is running all along the body of the human beings. Then next the up to the pelvic region, So this is regarding the vertebrae. Then next the ribs. So ribs, totally 12 pairs of ribs are there. Totally 12 pairs of ribs are there. So first 7 pairs are called as true ribs. First, this is rib cage. So first 7 pairs of ribs are called as true ribs. Why they are called so? Because these are connected with sternum anteriorly and with the vertebral column dorsally. So, the first 7 pairs of ribs are connected with sternum ventrally or anteriorly and with vertebral column dorsally. So, here the first 7 are connected or attached with sternum with the help of hyaline cartilage. So, this hyaline cartilage is glass-like rigid cartilage which helps in attachment of ribs. First 7 ribs. Then these are attached with the vertebral column dorsally, and here the vertebrae are called as bicephalic because they are providing attachment for the ribs. Clip-like projection is there with the help of which the ribs are attaching. So, ribs are attaching with the vertebral column. That is why it is said to be bicephalic. Vertebral column is bicephalic. One side, one rib is attaching and another side, another rib is attaching. So, hence it is bicephalic. Then next, the 7th, 8th and 9th rib. You can see here. 7th, that is first 7 true ribs. 8, 9, 10. 8, 9, 10. So these 3 bones, ribs. The 8, 9, 10. So these 3 are called as false bones. Why they are called so? Because these 3 bones, that is 8, 9 and 10. 10th bone. 8th rib, 9th rib and 10th rib. Backside it is attached to vertebral column, but front side it is attached to the 7th rib itself. Not separately, separate attachment is not seen with the sternum. So, for the 7th rib, the 8th, 9th and 10th are attaching. So, that is why these are called as false ribs. Here the cartilage, here vertebrochondral ribs are, they are called vertebrochondral ribs. Here cartilage is present. Here cartilage is present for the attachment. Cartilage is present. That is why they are called as vertebrochondral ribs. Then next, the 11th and 12th pairs of ribs. 11th and 12th pairs of ribs, they are called as floating ribs. Floating ribs. So these are attached. These are not attached with the ventral region. They are floating. They are attached only dorsally to the vertebral column, but ventrally they are not attached. That is why they are called as floating ribs. So first to 7 true ribs, 8, 9, 10 false ribs, then 11, 12 floating ribs. 11, 12 floating ribs. So this is regarding the ribs. This is regarding the ribs. Here one more thing we have to remember, that is the sternum anteriorly, vertebral column dorsally, sternum anteriorly or ventrally, and vertebral column dorsally, and ribs on the sides. Ribs on the sides collectively constitute the rib cage. Collectively constitute the rib cage. Rib cage is present so in the thorax region. A rib cage is present in the thorax region, within which the vital organs are situated. Within which the vital organs are situated. Then next, the appendicular skeleton. Hope this part is clear. Hope this part is clear. That is the once again the skull made up of totally 22 bones. Apart from that, 7 bones are there. That is the hyoid bone. Then 6 ear ossicles. 6 ear ossicles. Totally 29 bones. And after that, the vertebral column, how many bones are there? Totally 26 bones. C7, T12, then L5 and S1, CO1. So this is regarding the vertebral column. Okay, vertebral column or a vertebrae. Okay, vertebrae. Then next, the sternum. Sternum, only one flat bone ventrally situated, and then ribs. Ribs. How many ribs are there? Totally 12 pairs. 1 to 7. 1 to 7 true ribs. 8, 9, 10 false ribs. 11, 12 floating ribs. So this you have to remember for the examination point of view. So which is called as floating rib, and why the false rib is called as false rib. Okay, why it is called so. So you have to remember these things, and the ear ossicles also, yeah, you can remember. And here one more thing, the smallest bone of human body is the stapes. Stapes is the smallest bone of human body. So this is regarding the axial skeleton. Next we are proceeding with appendicular skeleton. Next we are proceeding with appendicular skeleton. So here you can see appendicular skeleton, hands, legs. In appendicular skeleton, hands, legs. So hands constitute how many bones? They are made up of how many bones? Totally 30 bones. So each hand made up of 30 bones. So 30 plus 30, 60, and legs again 30 bones. 30 plus 30, because we are having 2 hands and 2 legs. So 30 plus 30, 60. So totally how many? 60 plus 60, 120 bones. And here remaining how many appendicular skeleton bones are there? 126. How many are remaining? 6 bones are remaining. 6 bones are remaining. Here that is pelvic and pectoral girdles are there. Pelvic and pectoral girdles are there. So these are the forming, remaining 6 bones are forming this pectoral and pelvic girdles. So let us see in detail all these bones. So just now we have discussed that totally how many bones are there in hand? Totally 30 bones are there. Totally 30 bones are there in hand. Hand is made up of 30 bones. So hand, the bones of hand, that is humerus, radius, ulna. Humerus, radius, ulna. So you can remember like this. HRU. How are you? So humerus, radius, ulna. These three are the bones of hand. These three are the bones of hand. Apart from that, still many are there. Let us see one by one. So this is humerus. Then this is radius and this is ulna. Radius continues with thumb. This is radius and this is ulna. This is ulna. So this is radius and this is ulna. So humerus, radius, ulna. These three are the hand bones. Then here in this region, palm region. So here wrist region, they are called as carpals. Wrist region, they are called as carpals. How many carpals are there? 8 carpals are there. How many carpals are there? 8 carpals are there. Carpals 8. So carpals 8. Then metacarpals. Metacarpals. Metacarpals and phalanges. Metacarpals and phalanges. So how many carpals are there? 8 carpals are there. That is wrist bone. Wrist bones. How many are there? Wrist bone. Totally 8 wrist bones are there. Then metacarpals. Palm region. Palm region. How many bones are there? 5 are there. Palm region. How many bones are there? 5 are there. Then the phalanges. Phalanges, that is digits. Phalanges, that is digits. So here how many bones are there? 14 bones. Okay. So carpals 8, metacarpals 5, phalanges 14. So and apart from that, humerus, radius, ulna. So you can calculate how much it will be. Totally 30. Totally 30. Next, the bones of leg. After discussing the legs only, we shall move on to the girdles separately. So legs. Legs are made up of again 30 bones. Legs are made up of, each leg is made up of 30 bones. Each leg is made up of 30 bones. Here the femur, tibia and fibula. Femur, tibia and fibula. So these are the bones of legs. Okay, bones of legs. So fibia, that is fibula, femur and tibia. Femur, tibia and fibula. Femur, tibia and fibula. So this is femur. This is the longest bone. This is the longest bone. It is also called as thigh bone. Femur is also called as thigh bone, longest bone and strong bone. Very strong bone. Then next tibia. Next to it tibia and this is a fibula. This is a fibula. Here next the ankle region. What are the bones? Tarsals. Tarsals, metatarsals and phalanges. Tarsals, metatarsals and phalanges. There in hand, what were the wrist bone? Carpals, metacarpals and phalanges. Here the term is, instead of carpals we are using tarsals. We are using tarsals. So, toe tarsals. Then metatarsals and phalanges. Tarsals are 7 in number. Tarsals are 7 in number. And metatarsals are 5 in number. And phalanges are 14 in number. So in leg, femur, tibia and fibula, these three are the bones, and in the ankle region tarsals and in the foot metatarsals and phalanges, that is digits. So here tarsals are 7 in number. If you recollect, just now we have discussed in hands carpals were 8 in number. Carpals were 8 in number. Then where this one bone is missing? Where is this one bone missing? So if tarsals are also 8 in number, then it would have been 31 instead of 30. So how? Because here one more flat bone is present, which is called as patella. So one more flat bone, cup-like bone is present, which is called as patella. So in the knee joint, the flat cup-like bone, or saucer-like bone is present, which is called as patella. So patella is present, because of which the patella is also called as kneecap. Patella is also called as kneecap. So patella is 1 in number, and so if you calculate now, the bones will be totally 30. If you calculate, it will be 30. So in hands, carpals were 8. Instead of that, here in leg, tarsals are 7. Patella is 1. Patella is this kneecap. It is also called as kneecap. Patella is also called as kneecap. So tarsals are 7. Then metatarsals are 5. Phalanges are 14. Phalanges and metatarsals are same in metacarpals and phalanges of hands. The difference is, you have to remember this point only. So tarsals are 7, patella is 1. Whereas in hand, carpals were 8. So, and fibula, that is fibula, femur and tibia. Femur, tibia and fibula. So all these are 1 in number. So this is regarding the bones of legs. Now we shall move on to the girdles. Before girdle, one more thing we shall discuss. Here human skull is there. This is human skull. Human skull is articulating. This is human skull. Imagine this is human skull and this is the vertebral column. It has to articulate like this. Articulation means some joint must be there in between skull and the vertebral column. That is articulation. Or some there will be some attachment. That is articulation. So this is skull and this is the vertebral column. So skull is placed on this vertebral column, and here the first vertebra, that is the first vertebra is called as is nothing but C1, cervical vertebra. It is called as atlas. First vertebra or C1, cervical vertebra, is called as atlas. And this atlas is articulated with the skull, or skull is articulating with atlas. And here in human beings, this occipital condyle you can see. So here it is bicondylic. The human skull is bicondylic, and here the atlas. This is first cervical vertebra or atlas, which is articulates with the skull like this. So this is bicondylic. So for articulation, condyles are present. Cavities are present. Condyles are nothing but cavities are present. So like this, cavities are present, and the that is atlas is like this, and on which the skull is fixed on which the skull is placed. Skull is articulate. Here it is not fixed. It is not fixed. It is articulated. So like this it will be present. Then next regarding the vertebral column, that is in between the vertebrae. In between the vertebrae, the that is joints are present. That is vertebrae are joined with each other, forming a column like structure. That is cartilaginous. Cartilage is present. Cartilaginous disc is present in between the vertebra. So here movement is provided with the help of this cartilage. Then next the girdles. So first we shall see the pectoral girdle. Pectoral girdle which helps in articulation with the humerus. Articulation of humerus in the shoulder, or it is the pectoral girdle. So here in pectoral girdle, that is two bones are there. One is clavicle and another is scapula. One is clavicle and another is scapula. So clavicle is present. It is a flat bone present ventrally, and this is the clavicle. It is also called as collar bone or beauty bone. And the scapula is another bone present dorsally. That is it is triangular shaped bone, and here the scapula is providing attachment for clavicle. Scapula is triangular shaped and it is forming a ridge. It forms a ridge, and that is providing the space for attachment of clavicle. That region is called as acromion. And here below this acromion, a cavity called as a glenoid cavity is present. You can see here. This is the ridge-like structure of this scapula, and here this clavicle is present, and in this ridge-like structure, clavicle is fixed like this. Clavicle is attached here, and below that acromion, that region is called as acromion, or that ridge is called as acromion, and below that acromion, the cavity is called a glenoid cavity is present. Which articulates the humerus. So humerus is articulated with the pectoral girdle. Pectoral girdle is made up of clavicle and scapula. Clavicle and scapula, that is each pectoral girdle, that is 2 in number, and 2 into 2, 4. So totally how many bones are there? 4 bones are there in the pectoral girdle. Then next the pelvic girdle. Next, the pelvic girdle. Pelvic girdle is made up of 2 bones. That is made up of 1 bone. That is coxal bone. Yeah, coxal bone. So this each coxal bone is fused by each coxal bone is fused with 3 bones. Each coxal bone is made up of 3 bones. Fused bone. It is 3 bones are fused to form a coxal bone. Ilium, pubis and ischium. 3 bones are there. Ilium, pubis and ischium. these three bones are there which form the coxal bone, which form the coxal bone. Now coxal bone, that is here in coxal bone, that is a cavity is present which is called as acetabulum, which is called as acetabulum, which helps in articulation of the femur, thigh bone. The thigh bone is articulated with this cavity called as acetabulum, called as acetabulum. So this is regarding the pelvic girdle. This is regarding the pelvic girdle. So just now we have discussed, that is totally how many bones are there in appendicular skeleton. That is 60 in hands, 60 in legs. Then how many were remaining? Out of 126, 6 were remaining. Out of 6, that is 2 in pectoral girdle, that is 2 pairs in pectoral girdle, that means 4 in pectoral girdle, and in pelvic girdle 2 in number. 2 in number. So here one more thing we have to remember, that is these coxal bones, they again they join together. They join together to form this pubic symphysis. They are joining to form the pubic symphysis. Here the fibrous cartilage is present, again immovable. It is again immovable. So this is regarding the appendicular skeleton. This is regarding the appendicular skeleton. Next we have to proceed with joints. So different kinds of joints are there which provide movability to, that is because of which only we can move, we can work. So the different types of joints are there. Let us see one by one. Fibrous joints, just now we have discussed regarding cranium. That is, in cranium fibrous joints are there, totally no movement, they are immovable. Joints are immovable. So fibrous joints made up of fibrous connective tissue, closely packed, very tightly packed, and they are totally immovable. The cranial bones are totally immovable because of the fibrous joint. Then cartilaginous joints. Cartilaginous joints present between the bones. These are partially movable. For example, vertebral column. Just now we have discussed vertebral column. Movement is possible but limited. So the movement is because of cartilaginous joints, movement is possible even in a vertebral column. So because of which we can bend forward and little backward. Then next, one more type of movement, joint, that is synovial joint. Synovial joint, here in synovial joint, synovial cavity is present which is filled with the fluid. Synovial cavity is present which is filled with fluid. So these are considerable movement is seen in synovial joints. Knee joint, then elbow joint. All these are phalanges, joints between the phalanges, etc., etc. All these are the synovial joints. Here, that is synovial fluid is present in between the joints, because of which considerable movement is seen. So here in the synovial joint, again types are there. Ball and socket joint. That is, ball and socket joint is present between humerus and pectoral girdle. So humerus, the arm bone, and the pectoral girdle. So like this, ball and socket joint. Like this, ball and socket joint is present. Then hinge joint. That is knee joint is called as hinge joint. Here we can fold our legs in one side. Okay, we can fold our legs. That is because of hinge joint. Then gliding joint. That is carpals. In the carpals region, the gliding joints are present. Then saddle joint. Here, this region, that is thumb. Okay, thumb region, that is saddle joint is present. Then next, the pivot joint. That is the first vertebra, that is C1, articulates with the skull, So pivot with axis, axis is second vertebra, that is called as pivot joint. So with the help of which we can move our neck, easily. So these are the different types of joint. Here one more thing we have to remember, that is these joints are fulcrum is present, so which help on which the movement is possible. So it provides the space for the movement, the region or on which the the movement can be facilitated. So this is regarding the joints. Next we have to discuss about the disorders of the skeletal system. Myasthenia gravis. So myasthenia gravis is autoimmune disorder. What is meant by autoimmune disorder? Here our own immune system considers or thinks as if our own organs or cells are foreign, and because of which it starts destroying them. This is called as the autoimmune disorder. So myasthenia gravis is autoimmune disorder affecting neuromuscular junction. So here the synaptic nerve. So here muscles will be present. And this is called as neuromuscular joint. Muscular joint. So this these neuromuscular joints or functioning is affected because of the autoimmune disorder, and it leads to fatigue, then weakening of muscles, and then the paralysis of skeletal muscles. So what happens here? This neuromuscular junction is affected because of autoimmune disorder, myasthenia gravis, and because of which that is weakening of muscles, and as well as fatigue. Fatigue means tiredness, and then paralysis of the skeletal muscles. Then next, the muscular dystrophy. Next is muscular dystrophy. That is progressive degeneration of skeletal muscles, mostly due to genetic disorder. Progressive degeneration of skeletal muscles, mostly due to genetic disorder. Then next, tetany. One more disorder, tetany. Tetany is a rapid spasm of or wild contractions of muscle. Wild contraction or rapid spasm in the muscle due to low calcium. In the body fluid. So we have already discussed this calcium plays very important role in the muscular contraction. Okay, so if calcium is low in body fluid, then it definitely affects the contractions. The next, arthritis, inflammation of joints. Arthritis is inflammation of joints. Next, osteoporosis, age-related disorder characterized by decreased bone mass. Age-related the disorder characterized by decreased bone mass. That is, here calcium salts are present in bone, because of which the bones are tough, very rigid, and calcium salts are decreasing, and because of which the osteoporosis is caused, and decreased levels of this is due to in older people, older women, that is after menopause, estrogen level reduces, and that will lead to osteoporosis. Then lastly, the gout. Gout is inflammation of joints because of accumulation of uric acid crystals, urate crystals, uric acid crystals or urate crystals. They are accumulating, because of which painful joints will be swelling and painful will be very much painful and inflammation is seen. Here one difference is arthritis and gout. There is difference. In arthritis the inflammation of joints will be there. Arthritis, inflammation of joints will be there. In gout, inflammation of joints because of deposition of urate crystals. So this is regarding the different disorders of a skeletal system. So we shall conclude this chapter here, and we shall meet in next class with the new chapter. Thank you.